Hey folks, it's time for our Wednesday topic of the week. And this one's wiggly in all the right ways. We're talking about how to add worms to your compost the right way and why it matters more than you think. This week we're diving into the wonderful world of worms. Not just any worms, but composting worms. And first things first, let's clear up a common mix-up. Composting worms are not the same as all other earthworms. Other worms live deeper in the soil and are great for aeration, but they don't like the heat and chaos of a compost pile. Composting worms, like red wigglers, thrive in a litter layer. This is usually the top 4 to 6 inches of soil or organic matter where food and organic materials break down. They're basically the surface-dwelling party crew of the worm world. So now that you've got the right crew in mind, how do you introduce worms into a compost system? It's actually pretty easy. Just place them right into a finished section of your compost pile or bin where the temperature is below 85 degrees, the moisture is right, and there's fresh food ready to go. Don't bury them too deep. Let them explore and settle in naturally. Give them a calm, welcoming environment, and they'll make themselves right at home. But what do worms need to really thrive in your compost pile? Think of it like setting up a little worm spa. They need moisture, again, like a wrung-out sponge. They need food, mostly moldy greens like veggie scraps, coffee grounds, and soft, mushy fruits. They also need bedding, shredded paper, cardboard, or leaves. And just like the microbes, they need air, so don't let things get too soggy or compacted. A healthy worm environment is full of balance and variety, and limit things like citrus, tomatoes, and other acidic items. When it comes to meat or dairy, please keep these out of the bin unless you want pets like rats, mice, raccoons, and others. Now, when it comes to where to keep your worms, you've got 2 options, a worm bin or an in-ground worm system. Worm bins are portable, great for small spaces, and easy to monitor, but they can get hot or dry if neglected. In-ground systems, on the other hand, let the worms come and go in your garden soil, and they're more self-regulating, but harder to check and harvest. Both work, it just depends on your setup and how involved you want to be. If you find this type of stuff interesting or useful, do me a favor and like, share, or join our community in the description for more tidbits of information. Now let's get back to it. Let's talk about how worms actually improve your compost. They feed on organic matter and poop out castings, tiny pellets loaded with beneficial microbes. As they move through the pile, they aerate it, break down materials faster, and bring that sweet microbial diversity we're always talking about. Worms aren't just a nice touch. They're tiny compost machines, and their presence speeds up everything, including nutrient cycling. But how do you know if your worms are happy? Look for movement, moisture, and feeding. If they're clustering near food and wiggling around, they're good. If they're fleeing to the corners, climbing the walls, or disappearing altogether, you've got a problem. Check temperature, moisture, and food balance. Worms will tell you what they need, you just have to learn to listen. Finally, when your worm compost is ready, usually dark, crumbly, and no longer smelling like food, you can harvest it. You can screen it, or if you are like me, just take what you need. Mix it into garden soil, place it in the bottom of a planting hole, or even create a compost extract. However you apply it, it's pure gold. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see y'all next week.